Dark Witch music episode Rudymical is more than just a mouthful. It offers button-based rhythm gameplay masked with 2D arcade fighting game themes to provide a uniquely accessible experience on the Nintendo Switch. Does this spin-off of the 3DS's Dark Witch series and port of an iOS and Android game offer up any fun weight against its sub-$10 price tag? This is Lair with Blue Television Games, and let's take a quick look at Dark Witch music episode Rudymical. If there's one thing that most works to Rudymical's credit, it's that the game has a unique style all its own. After watching a short introduction to the loose story that's present here, we're able to jump straight into the gameplay right away. First, we're given a choice to choose between two available characters, and we're given a glimpse at the other characters we'll be able to unlock after we've spent some time playing through the story mode. Once we've decided on a character, we reach the boss select screen. Remember how I said this was masked with fighting game themes? Here's where those come into play. We can choose different boss fights and ramp up the difficulty through easy, normal, hard, and lunatic modes to best match our skill level. I started with easy. As we jump into our first fight, we're shown a brief introduction to the game's very simple mechanics. The 4 face buttons are all we'll need here, with the 3 upper buttons corresponding to different colors and the lower button allowing us to jump over projectiles. You may have noticed that both 1-player and 2-player controls were shown there, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. This is the first fight chronologically in the game, and it definitely shows. The difficulty here starts out at a crawl by only giving us one button to press throughout this entire fight. At the top of the screen, our opponent's health bar depletes as we match the rhythm of her attacks. And if we can lower her health to 0, we win the fight, and we're graded based on our performance. In a really cool series of unlockables, the game provides Shega only if you're able to score above an A rank on each challenge. Since Shega is the currency used to unlock additional characters, this provides some good incentive to revisit these levels after you've cleared them the first time. Speaking of the roster of available characters, each has its own moveset and on-screen flourishes to match button presses, as well as having unique voices and rhythmic accompaniment to go along with the music and your inputs. After giving easy mode a shot, I felt like trying hard mode was a good idea, and overall it was. It helped me to better understand what the game was eventually going to expect of me. It's also important to note that I hit most of the notes when I played this difficulty, but the timing of your hits is really the most important factor in your final score. It's totally possible to pass each fight with a totally abysmal score, which I did several times when I played on the harder difficulties. There's a lot of room to improve as a player as far as timing is concerned. 2-player mode isn't really anything revolutionary here. We have a versus mode and a cooperative mode, but both are exactly the same. The difference lies in whose health you're chipping away, each other's or a single boss's. I had really hoped that there would be some kind of horse thing going on in versus mode that pitted the 2 players against each other and asked them to copy one another's moves, but sadly no such mode exists. So you get an idea, here's some footage of me playing 2-player mode with a split Joy-Con in each hand. As you can see here, this is the same gameplay from single player, but each person is whittling away the health of the other player rather than a unified boss. Co-op, which has 2 players working to cut down a single boss's health meter, seemed a little more engaging to me, but I wish that there was some kind of variance in inputs required from each player. To add to that, it should be noted that you can only play the 2-player modes on one difficulty across both players. So playing with a friend or a spouse or child who isn't quite as good at the game as you are is going to mean setting the difficulty to a setting that you find way too easy, or keeping it on hard and listening to them complain about how unfair it is. Something I found out late in playing Rudymical is that you can actually turn off all the player grunts and yells when inputting attacks via a toggle in the options menu. This made the actual gameplay significantly more enjoyable for me, since I felt the voices were just a little bit grating against the rest of the soundtrack after playing for a while. In all my time playing so far, I've yet to see a green note come across the screen. These are apparently reserved for the Lunatic difficulty, which I haven't unlocked yet. That said, I'm finding that there's plenty of challenge to be had on the hard difficulty, and it's going to be really tough adding a whole new action to the mix when I do get to Lunatic mode. Whether Dark Witch music episode Rudymical is worth $8 or not is probably directly related to how much interest you have in rhythm-based games to begin with. This isn't going to win over newcomers to the genre in droves, but it definitely got me interested and made me happy about my purchase afterwards. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you going to pick up Rudymical on Nintendo Switch? Thanks for watching this BTG Quick Look. How about taking a quick look at some of our other videos? Maybe hit that subscribe button over there while you're at it and stay up to date with all things gaming here on BTG. Take care, guys.